Hey, can you find a water bottle for me?
Something so simple.
Good afternoon, Max Brantley with the Arkansas Times on Monday, July the 16th. Well, let's start in Helsinki, Finland. That's close enough to Arkansas to count in horseshoes. Donald Trump met Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin said he and his country had nothing to do with interfering with the 2016 election in the United States. Donald Trump said he made quite a case. He made no dispute of what Putin said, which everybody in the country knows is untrue. The facts bear it out. This follows by several days an indictment of Russian nationals for hacking into the U.S. election. He, in short, threw the United States under the bus. He said the investigation of Russian interference here by our most respected law enforcement agencies was a witch hunt. It was really an amazing performance, and it's getting criticism from all ends of the political spectrum. Even Fox News said it was a disaster, what Trump said. Not that that'll matter. Maybe we need to come bring him down to Arkansas and people still see him here as a wonderful president despite this sort of thing. Late Friday afternoon, the State Department of Human Services released figures on the first month of reporting under the new work rule for the Medicaid expansion. 7,000 people, or 26% of those covered, didn't report that they put in enough hours in the month to continue to qualify for Medicaid. They won't be thrown off without 2 more months of this sort of reporting. We don't really know if these people aren't working or they just can't figure out the online reporting system that Asa Hutchinson has put on them. If it continues on this pattern, though, tens of thousands of people are going to lose their Medicaid coverage under the work rule, which, of course, I think was the idea in the first place. The legislature's Joint Retirement Committee is going to meet tomorrow, and they're going to hear a batch of information from the multi-million-dollar Arkansas teacher retirement system on some dozen class action lawsuits it's been a lead plaintiff in. They've made some money back for the system by making securities claims against investment companies, but a bunch of money has been spent on attorney's fees, and some of it has been sidled off to a Texas law firm. It turned up in a Massachusetts case recently that had some political connections here with a former senator from Malvern and another former senator from Malvern who's head of teacher retirement, and other political connections that are worth looking at. All dispute that there are any sort of thing like a payback, kickback, bribe, or any impropriety, but a lot of money changed hands in a fashion that the judge in Massachusetts wants to know more about. Speaking of judges, Wendell Griffen has filed an appeal today with the 8th Circuit Court of Appeals over its dismissal of his lawsuit, saying that his First Amendment rights have been violated by being thrown off death penalty cases by the Arkansas Supreme Court. It's a procedural question. He thinks the case should have gone to trial before they dismissed the case. We'll hear more about that. There was a fatal shooting in North Little Rock's Riverfront Skate Park about 3:45 a.m. this morning. One man, a 22-year-old, was killed and another man was wounded. It appears to be part of a robbery attempt. There was a robbery of 3 men at that same park in the afternoon just 3 days ago. Well, they've started to file petitions about who's behind the various ballot initiatives that are hoping to make the Arkansas ballot in November. The group that's backing a minimum wage increase from $8.50 to $11 an hour filed its first financial report today. They got $150,000 from their effort for 2 nonprofit groups that are backed by labor unions that have worked in other states on raising minimum wages. And elsewhere, well, there's more talk about political contributions, in this case for candidates, in this case more dark money. It turns out in a Politico special report that an NRA shell group put $19 million in 2014 into 3 Senate races, critical races that switched seat from Democrat to Republican and helped switch the Senate to Republican control. Yes, one of the beneficiaries of that NRA money was Tom Cotton. You won't hear him saying anything bad about the gun lobby, that's for sure. That's something to resist. I'm Max Brantley. I'll be back tomorrow.